John Henry Newman, who was born in 1801 and died in 90. So here is the point that how we can keep remember all the works of different types of different authors, and how we can easily grasp the chronologically writings of these authors. So let's start. I have prepared the one of the works, one of the writers. So if you enjoy my hard work, then please comment me, and if you new, then don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. That's why I can prepare more and more. So let's start. John Henry Newman. Uh, Again, I repeat. DOV 1801 and died in 1890. His first work is Tracts for the Time. Here I have prepared that 33 years Newman wrote a pamphlet is called Tracts for the Time. Why I have kept here 33 years? Because Tracts for the Time is written in 1833. That's why. But actually his age must be 32, uh, 34. So in 1833 he has written a pamphlet. Here I have mentioned right side a series of a pamphlet uh, which was written in 1833. But few numbers of pamphlet, just 48 pamphlets were sold out when it is published. After publication, just 48 pamphlets were sold out. It is not real fact. It is a story. Through a story, I have tried to make clear, and I have tried to remember you. But so it is not a real story that 48 pamphlets were sold out. I have mentioned here 48 because next work of Newman was published in 48, Loss and Gain. So that's why. But few numbers, just 48 pamphlets, 48 numbers of pamphlets were sold out. So he did not get loss and gain. When just 48 number of pamphlets sold out, of course he was not happy, but not so much, because it is his first attempt. This type of a story you have to keep remember that you can easily in exam hall also recall the words. That's why I have tried to make how you can keep remember. So 1848, Loss and Gain. It is philosophical novel which was published in 1848. As a writer, he wanted how his ideas will be defined and illustrated in 52 universities. Actually, at that time, he was a renounced writer, although his pamphlets were not sold out in a large number, but he thought that I am a renounced writer and I am an intelligent woman. I am an intelligent, so how my ideas will be defined and illustrated in universities, and he aimed to 52 universities. Why 52 universities? Because 1852 the idea of a university defined and illustrated, which is a lecture series, was published. So, a lecture series, the idea of a university defined and illustrated, that is a lecture series which was published in 1852. Okay, next. So, here one thing from this story we have to analyze that Henry Newman was his aim was to be a writer. That's why he started writing and he began his career from pamphlet. Then he wrote a philosophical novel, Loss and Gain, but he wanted that how his ideas will be illustrated and defined in universities. That's why he took help of a 50 years old man called Callista. Callista, who is who is an old man and 55 years old man. Perhaps he's guiding maybe, or philosopher, or an intelligent man. That's why he came in contact with the 55 years old man whose name was Callista. And Callista advised him to visit 65 years old temple. So when Newman came to Callista, Callista said that I have knowledge that I can say what is your mistake. But here is point that when we begin something, at least we should pray to God. Perhaps you have not prayed to God, that's why your pamphlets were not sold out. So it is first our moral duty that you should go to temple. And there was a temple, 65 years temple in his village. So there was the god whose name was Provitasua. So Callista advised him, you go to temple, and there you apologize to our god whose name was Provitasua. So uh, in 1865, 65 years old temple. So 1865 he published Apologia Pro Vitasua. Okay, if you have any problem, then you can make notes that it will be easy for you. It is not a live class that I can repeat, and you can ask me and I will again repeat and repeat. So this is a recording class, that's why I suggest you to make notes. And it is not only mine note, it is not only mine is important, you also listen the story and make yourself also story that you can remember easily. So 1865, after 1865 what happens that, so here Newman came to temple, 65 years temple, and there he beg apologies to God for Vitasua, then came to home, and at night the God Pro Vitasua sends his son Crentius. And at night in his dream, in Newman's dream, Crentius, the god of knowledge, appears. At night in his dream, Gruntius, the god of knowledge, appears. Hence here we can classify the god Providaswa. We can compare the god Providaswa with our Lord Shiva and Gruntius, his son Ganesh. So 1865, same year, at night, same night, same year, Apologia Providaswa is a spiritual novel, a spiritual autobiography. Callistia is a novel, Callista is a novel, and Loss and Again is a novel also. So the dream of Gruntius is a poem. Okay. So when dream of Gruntius came into his dream, the god of knowledge, Gruntius, advised him to rectify 70 lines, grammar and accent structure of his prose work. So, what was the problem? Why his pamphlets were not sold out? Because there was some mistakes, and there were 70 lines of mistake. Grammar and accent structure were mistakes. That's why the god of knowledge, Critias, advised him to rectify such lines. Okay, so when yes, here what happens? Grammar and accent 1870. Okay, here Gruntius advised to rectify 70 lines of grammar and accent structure. 70 lines grammar and accent structure of his prose work. So from 1870, grammar and accent, that is a work, a prose work that defends faith. Okay, so when grammar and accent were rectified, he never looked back. What he published after that, whatever he published, all were hit and sold out, and he became a famous person. Okay, so here 1 2 3 4 5 6 works we found. First, a pamphlet, Tracts for the Time. Next, Loss and Gain, 1848, is a philosophical novel. Then a lecture series, The Idea of University, defined and illustrated. Callista, a novel. Apologia pro Vitasua, philosophical autobiography. The Dream of Gruntius, a poem. And Grammar of Accent, a prose work that defends faith. So here he put on two things, Loss and Gain and Callista, two novels. So these two works, these two novels we have to keep remember, and let's see how short questions, PYQs or MCQs comes from this writer. So have a look. Here I have collected 5 questions from previous years. So first question is, from the following list identify the 2 novels published by John Henry Newman. I have told you that the Grammar of Accent is a prose work which highlights faith. Apologia pro Vita is a philosophical autobiography, and Loss and Gain 1948, perhaps 1948, and Callista. Callista is an old man, 55 years. So Callista is a novel. C and D. These two, Loss and Gain and Callista, these two are novels. Next question: who among the following was not a proponent of Oxford movement? Here is important. Henry Newman associated with the which movement? Okay, so question answer is Charles Kingsley. J.S. Newman first, Richard Horrell, Freud, C. Edward Boveri, Prose, and Charles Kingsley. Charles Kingsley is not associated with the, is not a proponent of Oxford movement. Next question: in which of the following works did Newman advocate for liberal education? Liberal education, we have found university there is, so the idea of university illustrated and defined. Knowledge is its own end. The famous idea is associated with here 3, 4, 5 options. So our correct option is Newman. Then assertion and reason. Okay, one question I have found here. Assertion and reason. First assertion: Newman believed that education should not merely be vocational. Reason: he felt that the cultivation of the intellect was an end in itself. So we have four options. First option is A and R are true, and A is the correct explanation of R is the correct explanation of A. Then A and B are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Then next option, A is correct, but R is not, but R is incorrect. Then D, A is incorrect and R is correct. But first option, the correct answer is first option. A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation. Okay, so here we have a lecture video. So dear students, dear aspirants, who please like and share, and if you have friends, then share it. And next in next class we have another uh, another writer, that is Benjamin Disraeli. So goodbye. See you next class.